All right, what's going on, guys? So in this video, I titled it LooksMaxxing Bodygame, the 12 reasons why you will be hated by women and men when you become a handsome and attractive man. This is going to be in line with Handsome Men's Game as far as understanding why you will experience hate as a handsome man. Once you looks max, once you dial in your physique and you're practicing body game, you're going to experience hate from women and men. And the reason why I want to make this video is just to put you on game, just to make you aware, just so you have your eye out on the 12 things that men and women will do once you dial in your looks overall and you become a handsome man. These are some of the things that you're going to experience, man. Now, with that being said, I'm not discouraging you from leveling up your looks and self-improving, because you are going to experience a lot more benefits. You are going to have an easier life the more attractive you become. You will get treated better by people in general, and your life is going to be easier. I don't think anyone that has a logical brain can deny that. With that being said, you're still going to experience some BS along the way. So I just want to put you guys on game, make you aware of what you're going to experience at times. That way you can better prepare yourself and know how to handle these situations when they do arise. Now, before we hop into the 12 reasons as to why you will be hated by women and men, if you do want to level up your looks, if you want to maximize your looks to the best of your ability with the genetics that you were given, and you want to become the most handsome, attractive version of yourself and start attracting beautiful women to you on autopilot every single day, consistently, predictably, and reliably, like how men are doing every single day with IAB, then I would highly suggest that you check out my free IAB training linked down below. I will have it linked in the description, and I will have it linked in the pinned comment. I promise you it's going to transform your life overall for the better, not just when it comes to dating and attracting women, but when it comes to leveling up your looks, being able to develop confidence within yourself, and overall be the most handsome and attractive version of yourself from the outside and the inside. Again, check that free training out down below after you watch this video. So let's go ahead and let's dive into the video. So the first thing, people are going to have negative assumptions about you. So men and women will have negative assumptions about you just because you are a handsome man, right? So they're going to associate you with negative traits such as being cocky, being arrogant, stuck up, narcissistic, selfish, etc., without any proof of you actually having these traits whatsoever, right? They're just going to assume these things about you because of how you look. They're simply judging a book by its cover. And this is what you'll call the reverse halo effect. So for the most part, as you do level up your looks, you will have people that will view you in a better light, right? They're going to associate positive habits, positive traits on you because you are a handsome man. Now, with that being said, not every single person is going to do that. You are going to have people who are going to have a reverse halo effect when they view you, right? When they see you and they see that you are a handsome, attractive man, they're going to assume some of these negative traits on you. And it's not so much about you. It's not necessarily a personal attack on you. A lot of it is just a reflection of who they are as a person. They lack confidence. They are insecure about themselves, right? They have low self-esteem. And then when they see someone that is good looking and represents the positive traits, at least the assumed positive traits that a handsome man would normally have in the eyes of other people, and more importantly, in the eyes of himself, when they see a handsome, attractive man and they assume that he has it going on, they'll again start to actually apply a reverse halo effect onto that man simply because of the insecurity, the low self-esteem, and the low confidence that they have within themselves. And then they're just going to assume all these negative traits about you without any proof that you are this type of person before they even get a chance to even speak with you, simply because you are a good looking man. So just understand that you will experience negative assumptions about you. People will have a reverse halo effect when it comes to how they view you. However, you can leverage this into your favor, because when people do have a conversation with you and you are a cool, solid dude, you treat people well, you treat people with respect, right? They're going to be like, holy shit, this dude is actually a really down to earth, cool dude. And you're actually going to be perceived even more likable than someone that wasn't as attractive as you, simply because the bar of expectations for you were set very low. So therefore, it's going to be a lot easier for you to exceed the expectations that people have on you. So therefore, as long as you are a cool, solid dude and you treat people with respect until they give you a reason not to, you're going to be perceived as someone that's even more likable than if you weren't a handsome and attractive man. Just going to keep it a stack. So that's number one. Moving on to number two. Number two, women will be insecure and intimidated by you. Here's the thing. We hear about how all these women have all these options, but one thing that you guys have to understand is that even though they may have more quantity of options than the majority of the men, those options aren't viable. Those options, by and large, they're not checking for 95, hell, probably 99% of those options that they have. No joke. I've been around women who have shown me their dating apps where they have all these messages from dudes and they're laughing at these guys. They show me their inbox on social media. They've even shown me some text messages that they've gotten from dudes. And most of the time they're laughing at these dudes who are simping for them and chasing them and just being thirsty and needy, right? So yeah, they may have more options in terms of quantity than most men, but that doesn't mean that they're viable options. With that being said, those options by and large aren't handsome and attractive men that are checking for them and pursuing these women. So therefore, they're not used to being around handsome and attractive men like how most people think women are. So with that being said, when you are a handsome, attractive man and the woman isn't secure with herself, she has low confidence, she has low self-esteem, she's almost going to think to a degree that she's not good enough to be around you. Right? And if she is already insecure with herself and she has low confidence, she's going to project that on you in the sense of feeling like she doesn't measure up to you, that she's not good enough, almost as if it's your fault because you are a handsome and attractive man. And you could be treating her right. You can be having good interactions with her. Maybe you can even be pinpointing specific strengths and traits that you see within herself that she can't see. But even then, man, like some of these women are just going to be insecure and have low confidence. A lot of it's going to stem back from their childhood, how they came up, people that they're around. Maybe they were done dirty by other men that lowered their confidence. So you're going to have interactions and come across women like this who are going to be insecure and have low confidence within themselves. And when they are around a handsome, attractive man like yourself, once you looks max, you dial in your physique and you practice body game, some of these women aren't just going to know how to move around you. They're not going to be used to being around a man like yourself. And eventually some of these women they may get over all that as far as just being insecure and intimidated by you, and they'll warm up to you, they'll open up to you over time. But just understand that you will come across women who will be insecure and intimidated by you. Not all women are going to be like this, right? But they will feel like this if they do have low self-esteem and low confidence. And that really has nothing to do with you. It's all about what they have going on within themselves. And the only person that can fix that is them, right? But when you are a handsome and attractive man, your looks are going to amplify those insecurities and that low confidence that they have within themselves. Therefore, they're going to be intimidated by you. Now, with the women that are confident and secure within themselves, they're still going to be intimidated by you simply because they're not used to being around handsome and attractive men, and they're not used to dealing with them on a consistent, regular basis. They're still going to be intimidated. They're still going to be a little bit nervous, and you just got to be a cool dude. You got to be solid, man. Don't be an asshole. Don't be arrogant. Don't be cocky, because if you actually know how to have a good conversation with women, if you know how to make women feel good emotionally and they can feel comfortable and safe around you, they'll lower their guard and they're going to open up to you a lot more, and you're just going to have a better interaction with them, man. So just keep that in mind, that when you are a handsome, attractive man and you dial in your looks, women will be insecure and intimidated by you. So that's number 2. Moving on to number 3. Women will assume that you are a player with a rotation of other women. Now, here's the thing, guys. When you level up your looks and you get to the point where you have other women checking for you, you have women giving you choosing signals in public, right? And then you can approach them. You have women coming up to you, approaching you, whether it's them directly, them approaching you with a friend, or them sending a friend to approach you, or you got girls that will slide into your DMs first on social media, or you will have girls that will message you first on dating apps, dropping you a pickup line. Once you reach that threshold of attractiveness, women are going to assume that you have other women checking for you and that you have other women chasing you. Now, here's the deal, right? Women love and hate that. They love a man that is pre-selected. They love a man that other women want. They love a man that other women find attractive. However, the competition anxiety then kicks in, because then they understand, like, okay, I got to compete with all these other women because I know they're checking for this man. I know I'm not the only woman that finds this man attractive. Other women want this man. Other women find this man attractive. And here's the crazy part, is that maybe you don't have a whole bunch of options as she perceives you to have. Maybe you don't have a rotation of women, right? But regardless, she's always going to assume, by and large, women are going to assume that as a handsome man, you have a bunch of women checking for you, chasing for you, messaging you first, beating down the door to your DMs and wanting to see you, because in the sense they view themselves doing that to a degree. Whether they want to admit it or not, they can see themselves pursuing you. They know that you are an attractive man. And a lot of the times women, they're going to do their best to control how they feel about you. They're going to control how attracted they are to you, because they don't want to be perceived as just another girl in your rotation. They don't want to be perceived as just another easy girl that they assume that you are dealing with, and that you have a bunch of women like that you're dealing with. They don't want to be like the other girls. Therefore, they're going to play it a little bit more smooth. They're not going to be so overt about how they feel about you. They're not going to be so overt with their validation and complimenting you and stuff like that. Again, not every woman is going to be like this, but but you are going to experience quite a bit of women that will act this way to you. Again, that's just because they think that you have a bunch of women, that you have a rotation of women, that you have women constantly chasing you, and they're going to assume that you are a player. So this is good or bad. It's a double-edged sword because, again, it proves that you are pre-selected, which they do find that attractive. I've literally had women tell me that they don't want a man that they can't show off and brag to their friends about. And I've known about that before. Women have told me that directly. But at the same time, that competition anxiety kicks in, and then it's going to make them, in the sense, compete for your time and attention because they know that you have other women checking for you, right? Or even if you don't have a laundry list of women who are hitting you up, messaging you, sending you hard eyes and all that stuff, regardless, they're just going to assume that you do. So therefore, they may assume that you are a player, even though they will give you the time and day to get to know you and stuff. But just understand that women will assume that you have a rotation of other women checking for you, and they like that, but they don't like that at the same time. So just keep that in mind. So moving on to number 4 is that women will think that you lack intelligence, depth, and humility. So like a jock, women are just going to assume that you lack any level of intelligence, depth, humility to you simply because you are a handsome man. So the problem that you'll run into as a handsome man, I won't even say it's a problem really, but most women just aren't going to be able to fathom that you might also be intelligent, that you might also have the ability to have deep conversations, that you might even be an attractive man that is humble instead of just being another pretty face, arrogant man. A lot of women aren't going to be able to comprehend the fact that, in the sense, they can have the best of both worlds. They can have the physically attractive man that has it going on, that knows that he can attract other women, and she knows that he can attract other women, but he doesn't rub that in her face, come off that way in the sense of being arrogant or cocky. He's confident, but he's not arrogant or cocky. He doesn't have to say that he can get other women because the woman, just simply by looking at the man, knows that he can get other women. And that's just something that I would make you guys aware of, is don't tell these women that you got a bunch of women chasing for you and that I got this girl texting me, so I don't need to deal with you if you're going to be acting like this and that. A lot of the things that are understood don't need to be said. Right? Part of the reason why she's dealing with you, part of the reason why she finds you attractive, because she knows that you can get other women, man. So you don't need to say all that, right? You don't need to be arrogant in that way, because if you actually can get women, you would have that silent confidence about you, just with the way you look, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you talk. So you don't need to say all that. And that's the thing, man. Like, whenever I've gone on dates and met with women for the first time, they would tell me like, oh, I didn't know you were going to be like this. I didn't expect you to be like this. I thought you were going to be an asshole. I thought you were going to be arrogant and all into yourself. I had a really great time with you. We have really great chemistry. We have really good conversations. Thank you for taking me out. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Like, women will say those things to you when you actually know how to talk to them, when you know how to have a great connection with them, when you know how to have a great vibe with them in terms of just chemistry, having good conversation, making them feel good when they're around you. Because it's a lot of it comes down to them feeling good when they are around you. And that's the thing, guys. That's what I try to explain in my videos, is that it's not just about the looks. Like, you have to have social calibration to you. You got to be a cool, solid dude. You got to have a good personality in the sense of people enjoy being around you. People enjoy talking to you. People find value in your presence. You make women in particular feel good. Make everybody feel good, women and men, but in particular, because we're talking about women and we're talking about men, but in this point right here, talking about women, they have to feel good when they're around you, man. And that's why it's not just enough to have looks. That's why a lot of these dudes who don't have any experience, they'll say, oh, looks are the only thing that matters, personality doesn't matter, etc. But those dudes are just speaking from theory and not their own experience. I'm telling you, as a handsome and attractive man, humbly, that yes, you have to meet women's physical attraction threshold first before you can even get to the point where you're showcasing your personality, your charisma, your social calibration, the ability to have in-depth conversations, to showcase your level of intelligence, etc. You got to meet their physical attraction threshold first before you even get a chance to showcase all of that stuff. But then once you do, then the next step after meeting their physical attraction threshold is then you have to be able to talk to them. You have to showcase your personality and your charisma, and you have to make them feel good, because you'll be able to get dates with women using your marketing. Like, your looks are your marketing, right? Your physical looks are your marketing. So you'll be able to attract women to you. Yeah, you'll be able to get dates with women, but then your sales, aka your personality, your charisma, your social calibration, your sales, that's what I call it, your sales. You got your marketing, which is your physical looks, and then you have sales, which is your personality, your ability to have good conversation, make women feel good around you. If your sales aren't dialed in, man, if you can't close, then the marketing is almost meaningless, right? That's why you need to have both your marketing dialed in and your sales, because marketing and sales is what allows a business to thrive financially. Same principle applies when it comes to being able to attract women to you, but also being able to have good conversation with them and then them wanting to see you again and then progress things from there. So just keep that in mind. So you will have women that will think that you lack intelligence, depth, and humility to you. And that's just because the handsome men that they maybe have dealt with in the past did lack those things, or maybe they're just going off of what they see on social media or TV shows or movies. But if you actually have a level of depth to you as a handsome man, you're going to see that women are going to be surprised by that. They're going to be surprised that you're not an asshole, that you're not cocky, that you're not arrogant, and that you're actually likable, which is only going to make them more attracted to you at the end of the day. So that's number 4. Moving on to number 5. Men will mate guard their women around you. Men will unnecessarily mate guard their women around you, even if you're not checking for their women, even if you're not even acknowledging their women, looking at their women, talking to their woman or anything like that. And the reason why is just because they know that you are a handsome man. They know that you get looks from women. We can tell, but we can tell when other men are selected by other women. Let's just keep it a stack. Like, we can look at a man objectively, again, pause, and just be like, yeah, like he looks like he gets women. Especially if a man sees another man have women around him, like at a club or a bar or a lounge. Like, yeah, we know if a man can get women, right? Game recognizes game. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, if a man has his woman around him and they see you walk up in the spot, right? Whether it's like a club, bar, lounge, or restaurant, doesn't really matter where it's at. The man's gonna do everything that he can to distract that woman from you. He's gonna pull that woman away from you or get out of your vicinity. And that's just simply because he doesn't want to risk losing his woman to you, basically, right? So just keep that in mind, that men will mate guard their women, especially when you're not checking for their woman. Now, I will say this, like, men will also get quickly triggered if you are talking to their woman, even if you're just talking to her on some friendly stuff or just having a simple, small conversation. Maybe she's sitting like right next to you at a bar or something like that, or for whatever reason, you have to have a conversation with her, or maybe you approached her for whatever reason and you didn't know that she had a man, and then he comes out the cut and then he's like, what the hell? Why are you talking to my woman or something like that? I don't know. Men, of course, in that particular scenario are definitely going to get triggered, and they're definitely going to try to remove the woman and himself from your vicinity. That way there's no risk of him basically losing his girl to you. So that was number 5. Moving on to number 6. Men will try to get with girls that you've been with in the past. So this is more so going to be in the context of your friends, right? Your homies, your boys, supposedly. But don't be surprised if your so-called friends try to get at girls that you used to date or see in the past, whether that was ex-girlfriends, girls that you were messing with but weren't seeing seriously, girls that you were casually seeing, etc. Don't be surprised if your boys try to slide in once your situation with a girlfriend ends, or the situation with the girl that you were seeing casually, or just girls that you weren't really taking serious but you were still seeing them to a degree and messing with them. Don't be surprised if your boys try to slide in, man. And part of the reason why they do this, man, is simply because they're jealous. They're jealous because you get the women that they want. You get the treatment from women and men that they want in terms of people just liking you and respecting you and wanting to be around you. And they can't stand the fact that you get those type of results and outcomes, but they don't. And they secretly want to be you. Yes, they secretly want to be you. That's why they're going to try to get at the past women that you've dealt with, because that's going to be their way of feeling like they are you. And you want to know what's interesting about this, man, is that I've had this happen to me by so-called friends of mine that were considered handsome and attractive to women. And you always hear like you need to be rolling with a group of men who are good looking and handsome like you and can also get women too. That way you guys are all in abundance and you don't have to worry about each other trying to get at each other's girls and stuff. And I see the logic in that, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters if you are a good looking or handsome man. I really don't think so. Yes, if you are a good looking man that can attract women and you are in abundance, I can see logically how you will be less likely to do that to your boy, right? As far as trying to slide into his girl's DMs or inbox after your boy and her broke up and ended and all that stuff, or your boy stopped seeing a girl casually, whatever. I can see how that would be less likely to happen, but I think at the end of the day, it really comes back down to who the man is at the end of the day. Who are they at the core? You know what I mean? Like, you can be an unattractive man, but not try to do all that stuff just because you actually care about your boy. You're actually loyal to your boy and you don't do any of that stupid shit. Because I've experienced more of this type of BS from dudes who can get women. And that's because, yes, you will have men who are unattractive that will want what you want in the sense of being able to attract women if they can attract women. But you will also have the other side of the spectrum where you will have men who can attract women, that have success with women, at least least being able to attract them. But they're selfish. They're not used to having competition, even though it's not a competition. They're not used to being around other men who also get women. So therefore it becomes their own type of game of competition in their head. So then they're going to try to slide into your girl's DMs or try to put out feelers there and see if that girl's feeling them, right? Don't be surprised if this happens to you, man. That's why you need to be very careful with who you decide to hang around with, man. That's why I don't hang around with a bunch of dudes like that, man. I don't have that many male friends, man. I got a couple that I roll with that I know are solid, but other than that, I don't roll with too many dudes like that because I know at the end of the day, most of these dudes don't know how to control their sexual energy. Most of these dudes are needy. Most of these dudes are feminine in the sense of chasing women and only want them for their sex and clinging on to women. So just keep that in mind, man, because some of these dudes are going to try to backstab you. Some of these dudes are going to try to, pull one on you and act like it's all cool and shit and share women with one another and all that shit. I personally don't do all that, man. I don't do any of that shit. So just be wise with the men that you decide to really roll with. Make sure that these men have actually gone through some battles with you, not even battles, but have gone through war with you and have proven their loyalty and brotherhood to you, as you should be proving your loyalty and brotherhood to them, because it's a two-way street, right? But just keep in mind that your boy, who may be an objectively attractive man based on you seeing him get women and his results with women, he may try to pull this shit on you too, just because he can't stand another man getting the attention of women too. So just keep that in mind, man. So that's number 6. Moving on to number 7 is that men will try to test you because they think that you're soft. So men will assume that just because you are a handsome, attractive man that you take care of yourself, and especially if you have that pretty boy look to you, they're going to assume that you're soft and that you can easily be punked. And this is why not only must you be a masculine man, but you need to stand up for yourself, whether it's with men and women. Of course, you're going to do it differently based on who it is that's trying to punk you, right? But nevertheless, you need to stand up for yourself, be a masculine man, and let people know, especially men, that you just can't be pushed around or punked or talked to any kind of way or treated any kind of way. And this is why I suggest, men, that you get in the gym, lift heavy ass weights, put on some lean muscle mass, and take up a combat sport, whether that's Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, wrestling, MMA, judo, etc. Now, don't go out looking for fights. Don't go out trying to stir the pot or anything like that. I say that in the sense of resulting to physically defending yourself as a last resort if you have no choice but to. But the thing that I've realized doing martial arts for a few years now, doing Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and lifting weights, is that especially when it comes to fighting, especially if you're sparring multiple times a week or damn near every single day, is that number one, you're not going to want to fight people because you want to save your energy for actually sparring with people who are respectable training partners, people that actually know how to fight, people that you should actually dedicate your time, effort, and energy into sparring with them because they earn that, because they're going to make you better, because they're good and they're only going to get better. But then number 2, it's like you don't need to prove yourself, because you prove yourself every week, multiple times a week, with people who, again, are deserving of your respect because they got hands too, they got skills too, right? And they'll make work of you as you will make work of them, because that's just what sparring is all about, is challenging each other and making each other as great as we possibly can be, right? So therefore, it's like the dudes who are going to try to press you, they're nothing, man. They're not a threat, especially if you train in a gym like you do Muay Thai, boxing, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, man, MMA, wrestling, judo. Like I said, you're going to be sparring with dudes multiple times a week to where it's like, man, I'm not going to waste my time and effort and energy onto this dude, man. He doesn't understand like what will happen if I put my hands on him. And for me personally, I'm not saying that in a braggadocious, cocky way, but the men that actually do combat sports know what I'm talking about. But that's the thing, is that if you do a combat sport, your demeanor, your presence, your confidence is going to be felt, and men aren't going to try to test you if they can see in your eyes, okay, man, there's something about him in his eyes, there's something about him in his demeanor to where he won't stand down, he won't back down if I try to press him. Let me be cool, right? I'm just going to keep it a stack, man. Dudes aren't going to test you like that if you've been tested before, especially if you get tested every week, because that's the thing, when you spar, you're getting pressure tested. You're getting pressure tested when you spar every week. So if some random dude tries to press you or think that they can test you because of how you look, and you got that demeanor to you because you got the skills and the confidence and the evidence that you know how to take care of yourself physically, need be, because you're training multiple times a week, every single week, they'll be able to feel that, and they'll be able to be like, all right, let me not press this dude. And again, only resort to physically defending yourself as a last absolute resort. Don't go looking for fights. Don't go stirring the pot or trying to prove yourself to people that don't even deserve your respect or your acknowledgement. But just understand that men will try to test you you because they think that you're soft based on how you look. And if you're lifting weights, if you're in the gym, you're getting physically strong, you're taking up a combat sport, you're sparring every week, right? You're getting pressure tested, you're learning skills. And not only are you strengthening yourself physically, but you're also, more importantly, strengthening your mind. You're becoming even mentally stronger. That's going to be felt in your demeanor. You're going to be able to convey a lot without saying anything. And men aren't going to try to test you, right? They're not going to put their hands on you. And then if they do, it may be bad for them. So that's number 7. Moving on to number 8, your ex-girlfriend's boyfriends will stalk your social media profile. So your ex-girlfriend's boyfriends, or the dudes that they're dealing with, whomever, will stalk your social media profiles. And usually, at least the most obvious way of knowing this is that if they're watching your IG stories. And this has happened to me when I've reached out to past women, right? Which is why I don't recommend that you do this. Don't slide back on women that you used to mess with, man. Because number 1, the dynamic changes is different. But then number 2, man, like, you don't know what the situation is that they got going on, right? Because you're going to slide back randomly, but then they can be in a relationship. They can be in a relationship and you just don't know it. Or especially if it's one of those situations where you follow the girl on social media and you never see her post her dude, which is a lot of the cases. You don't see her post her dude. You're thinking that she's single. You're still single. And you're like, man, let me slide back and see what she's been up to. And you try to make something happen. What ends up happening is because you randomly reached out to her without any context of what she has going on, partly because you're just going off of what you've been able to see from her social media profiles and her posts and her content, etc., of not posting her man. Come to find out, she may have a man. She may tell her man about you in the sense of letting him know you've been trying to slide back and all this shit. And usually if a man is checking your social media accounts as far as like your stories and all that, he's insecure and knows that he doesn't measure up to you. Because if he wasn't insecure, if he perceived himself to be better than you, he wouldn't be checking your content like that. Which means that the girl must have told him some stuff that you and her did to have him feeling that way. I'm just going to keep it a stack, man. This has happened to me, which is why it's not worth sliding back on girls that you used to see in the past. And then here's the thing, man. I'm just going to keep it a stack too. If the woman's feeling you, if she's missing your presence, if she's missing your energy, if she's missing your time, they'll circle back. They'll circle back. I'm telling you, they'll circle back. And then it'll be up to you whether or not you want to pursue them, but they will circle back. So that's number 8. Moving on to number 9. Attractive women won't approach you as often or at all. Now, here's the thing, guys. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm all about inbound game. Women coming to you, because women that come to you, by and large, are the best women to interact with, to date, to get in relationships with, right? The women that I've been in relationships with, that I've seen, that I've dated, have all came to me. And those were my most successful interactions with women overall. With that being said, you will come across situations where attractive women won't approach you as often. Again, as often or not at all. Now, if they do approach you, they're usually going to be drunk. They're going to approach you with their friend, or they're going to send their friend to approach you, like what I talked about earlier. Now, aside from the negative assumptions that attractive women in particular are going to have about you because you are a handsome and attractive man, they won't approach often based on the intimidation factor still, because even if they are an attractive woman, they're still going to be intimidated by you, because even then, attractive women aren't used to being around handsome and attractive men, especially if they perceive the man to be more attractive than she is as an attractive woman. And with that being said, they're going to be intimidated by you, but they're not going to feel the need to approach you because they're going to be more in a state of abundance. However, at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that they still won't approach you in the sense of sending you choosing signals. That doesn't mean that they won't ever approach you. Now, a lot of it's going to just depend on how attractive you are to the woman. And if you are her type, she may approach you, but again, by and large, they will approach you while they're drunk or tipsy or with a friend, or they'll send their friend to approach you because they don't want to get rejected by you, number 1. And again, they're intimidated and nervous by you because they are just not used to being around handsome, attractive men like that, especially if you are a really good looking man in her eyes and you are her type. Like, this is going to be even more so the case. And yeah, you're going to have more less attractive women approach you, and they're going to be a lot more bold because they know like they're not as in abundance as maybe the more attractive woman. So therefore, they're going to have to make their move on you. But at the same point, man, attractive women, if they find you attractive, they're still going to find a way to let you know that they find you attractive. And usually that's going to be in choosing signals or them sending their friends to approach you. And if they're giving you choosing signals, that's still them sending interest out to you because they're letting you know that they're interested in you, but then it's going to be up to you to then approach them. But just keep that in mind, that attractive women won't approach you as often or at all. A lot of it's going to come down to them being intimidated by you, them being in a more of abundance, so they're not going to feel the need to approach you, even though they may want you to approach them, or they're going to have negative assumptions about you in the sense of you you being a player, an asshole, cocky, etc. But if an attractive woman is feeling you, and again, you meet her looks threshold, you preferably exceed her looks threshold, and you are her type, she's going to give you some type of indication that she's into you, that she's interested in you, and she's going to create an opportunity for you to talk to her, whether that's her giving you choosing signals or she approaches you or sends someone like her friend to approach you. So that's number 9. Moving on to number 10 is that women will test you for negative/toxic traits. So when women are attracted to you, they're just going to test to see if you are a bad dude. Are you a player? Are you an asshole? Are you cocky? Are you arrogant? Are you going to do them dirty? And this is just because they've been screwed in the past, right? You're going to see this type of treatment from women who do lack confidence, that do have lower self-esteem. And if this is a girl that you like, if this is a girl that you would like to take serious, or maybe you would like to nurture the interaction that you have with them, man, then this is when, and I know I'm repeating myself, but you just got to be a cool, solid dude. Don't be arrogant. Don't be cocky. Don't tell this girl how you have all these women checking for you. You have all these women chasing for you, so she better get in line, because a lot of what is understood doesn't need to be said, right? Women are going to assume all these things about you when you are a handsome, attractive man. They already know that you got women chasing you. And I know I said this earlier in this video, but they already know you got women chasing you. They already know that you have options of women that you can pursue. At least they perceive that you do. So you don't need to say all that. All you got to do is be cool, be kind, showcase to them that you are willing to have a conversation with them, right? This is going to sound cliche, but be yourself, man. You can get away with more, and it's going to sound toxic, but it's the truth. When you are a handsome man, when you do it physically for women, you can get away with showcasing who you are as a person. We all hear, oh, you can't just be yourself. You got to do this, that, and third to attract women and be able to retain them, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's certain things that you shouldn't do as far as being needy, being desperate, but those are traits that you shouldn't have anyways. That's how you should be living. Don't be needy for anybody. Don't be needy for a woman. Don't be needy for a man. Don't be desperate for anything, right? But you can showcase more of who you are as a person, especially when you become an attractive man. And if they vibe and connect with who you are as a person, which you want a woman that is down for you, that is into you, right? Not just into your looks, but that is into you as a man, right? That you guys have good chemistry and a good connection with. You want those type of interactions, man. I don't care what any of you guys say. And I've been with attractive women who I'm like, man, this girl's attractive, but fuck, I don't like being around this girl, man. I've been around beautiful women who were bitchy, who I had no desire to be around. I've been around women who were more physically attractive than other women that I was seeing, but their personality was just shit. I didn't have any connection. I didn't have any chemistry with them. So I ended up removing them out of my life, and I prioritized more of my time and energy with women who weren't maybe as attractive as that woman, but damn, her personality was dope. Damn, we had a good interaction. Damn, we had good chemistry. You want to be around the women that, yeah, you are physically attracted to, but also you want to have good chemistry and a good vibe with, man, because it's just going to be a better interaction. It's going to be a better relationship, whether it's a serious relationship, it's a casual relationship, or just, you know, a relationship that you're still nurturing to see where it's going to go. Nevertheless, you're just going to have a better interaction with those type of women who are feeling you. And if those women are feeling you, you should be feeling them, man, or give them a chance. You know what I mean? Even if they don't fit exactly your physical type, maybe they're not as attractive as the woman that you may want, but if they're treating you well, they're really checking for you, they're really into you, give those women an opportunity, give those women a chance. And you're going to see that some of the women that you're going to come across, they're going to be very into you. They do want you, they do like you, but they're just going to be very heavily guarded because maybe they've dealt with other men who were handsome and attractive, but did them dirty. And that's the thing, man. You got to let these women know, like, at the end of the day, their past dealings with dudes in the past stays in the past. When they interact with you, when they spend time with you, they're starting from a brand new slate, blank canvas. There's no comparing me to other dudes and stuff, because no dude can compare to me. And that's how you men should feel. None of these dudes can compare to you, but you got to build yourself up to be that man for you to actually say that, and not just say it from a positive affirmation standpoint, but from an evidence standpoint. You dig what I'm saying? That's why you need to be leveling yourself up in many different ways, not just your looks, but mentally, financially, all that stuff. You need to be becoming the most handsome, attractive man inside and out, to the point where women can't replace you. And then I'm not saying that to manipulate them or have one over on them, but you need to become a man that women can't replace, simply put, and can't compare other men to you, because no one compares to you. You got to develop yourself up to be that man, though. You got to put in that work. You can't just say that and say these cute things and they're not real. You got to develop yourself to be that type of man. So that's number 10. Moving on to number 11 is that men will try to clown you in front of others, right? They're going to try to clown you in front of other people. And really, this is going to come from men who are insecure and feel threatened around you. And they're just going to try to clown you in front of other people because they know that they are jealous of you. They feel inferior superior to you because of how you look, especially if you are a handsome, attractive man that's also charismatic that people like. That's what I'm saying, man. If you have your looks and your charisma down, I honestly believe the world is your oyster, because you do need to be charismatic to a degree and definitely likable and trustworthy to build a network, to build out a social group, to attract job opportunities, money-making opportunities, like creating a business, having people want to do business with you, want to do work with you. So boom, financially, you're checked off there when it comes to charisma. Having the social group, the network, people are friends with people that they know, like, and trust, just like how people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. Same principle applies, right? Boom, charisma right there. But then when you are a handsome, attractive man on top of that, people are obviously going to want to be around you more. People are going to respect you more. Men are going to respect you more. Women are going to respect you more, but obviously they're going to be attracted to you. And if they see that not only are you a handsome, attractive man, but you're also a likable person that people enjoy being around, it's hard to find those two traits into one person. Hell, it's hard to find just one of those traits in one person. But if you have two of those traits in one person, bro, I'm telling you, the world is your oyster. But you're going to have men who are going to try to do this because, again, they're just insecure. They lack confidence. They lack self-esteem. They don't have any points of leverage for them to stick out. They don't have any points of leverage that makes them truly feel valuable in their eyes and other people's eyes. And because they know that you're at the top, at least in their mind, they believe that you're such this superior person than them. They're going to try to bring you down and drag you down by trying to clown you and trying to make you get down to their level. They're going to try to create insecurity, weakness, and trying to create low self-esteem and a lack of confidence in you because that's how they feel about themselves. Everything that they're feeling negatively about themselves, they're going to try to take those things out and transfer them into you because that's their only way in their mind of getting to where they perceive that you are in terms of being more superior than them. And it sucks. It's unfortunate, but don't take this personal. Just understand, and this goes for this entire list, but a lot of how people are going to treat you is just going to simply be a reflection of who they are, especially if they haven't had an opportunity to get to know you as a man and who you are at the core. A lot of these preconceived judgments and assumptions and views and all this stuff, these negative assumptions and views of how people look at you is just a reflection of them, especially when they haven't gotten a chance to know you. Just keep that in mind. They're going to try to find weaknesses in you that they can exploit and make themselves look better and look more attractive in the eyes of women. But the problem is women can pick up on this easily, and they know that men that do this stuff, men that clown other men unnecessarily and do it in a way where, like, you're not clowning the guy because you're friends with them and you're just joking because that's what you do. Like me and my friends, like, we'll clown each other, we'll make fun of each other, but we do it in a way where we know we're just playing. We're not trying to like actually tear each other down. We're not doing that just so we can look good in front of women and stuff. Women can tell when men are doing that type of stuff because the man is trying to look better in the woman's eyes. The man is trying to seek the approval of the woman, which is just going to lower her attraction for that man even more. So just keep that in mind as well, that men will try to clown you and try to bring you down to their level because they know that you are superior to them. And instead of them building themselves up to feel and be viewed superior, at least in their eyes, they're going to just try to bring you down to their level, and it's not going to work. So just keep that in mind and keep an eye out for that because that will happen from time to time. So that was number 11. Moving on to number 12. And the last reason is women are going to assume that you're gay. And they're going to assume that you're gay just because you are a handsome, attractive man. And you're going to have dudes who are going to try to say that you're gay too because of how you look, but those guys aren't getting any play. They don't take care of themselves anyways. Women aren't checking for them. So this is similar to the last point about how men are going to try to clown you in front of others. They're going to throw insults at you just because they think that's going to make them feel better, but it's not going to do anything for them. And let me throw out this too, that I don't have any problems with anybody that's gay. I don't have any hate for anybody that's gay. I even have a couple friends that are gay that I train with at the gym that I go to. So I have no issue with people that are gay. I have no hate like that or anything. It's none of my business what they do. As long as they're cool and treat me right, I'm going to show the same respect. That's just how I operate. That's how I roll. So I don't care about any of that stuff as far as having hate for people because of their preference and orientation and stuff. But like I said, you're going to have some women that will assume that you're gay. And I will say this, the women who truly think that you're gay because of how you look aren't going to say it to your face. Because there have been women around me who have asked if a friend of mine was gay, right? Maybe because he has some feminine tendencies or whatever. Like he could actually have a girlfriend. The guy that I'm thinking about actually has a girl that he's been seeing for a while. So he's not gay. But regardless, like if a woman truly thinks you're gay, she's not going to bring that up to your face. She's going to ask a friend of yours, or she's going to talk to her girlfriend about you or something like that. They're going to be indirect about it is what I'm saying. They're not going to bring that to your attention. But if a girl does bring this up to your attention, if they are direct about you, if they're like, oh, are you gay? Are you into men? A lot of this is just a shit test. A lot of this is just to try to make you feel bad about being a good looking man, because the women that do this, they feel intimidated and insecure by your looks. And it's a way of them trying to feel like they can get with you, that they are good enough to get with you, that they are attractive attractive enough to get with you, even though they're trying to bring you down at the same point. But I've noticed that when women have asked me this, and I don't get this much, these women will try to test me, but then once I tell them like, no, I'm not gay, they're still all over me. They still want to talk to me. You know what I mean? Even if I'm not checking for them, even if I'm not talking to them. And a lot of these girls are girls that approach me. So it's like, I wasn't even checking for you. You came up to me, and a lot of it is just insecurity. A lot of this is just low self-esteem. These women think that they're not good enough to be with you. So therefore they're going to try to tear you down because you are an attractive man. Again, even if you're not acknowledging them, even if you're not checking for them, you're going to get some of these girls who will ask you these type of things, right? And they're still feeling you, right? They're still into you, but they just lack security. They lack confidence within themselves. And some of these women just think that they don't have a chance with you. And you know what's interesting, man? I've had a couple women that have asked me this type of question. I'll tell them no. And then they're all over me, trying to talk to me, trying to rub up on me, trying to take my hand and try to touch them in certain places. And I got to be like, yo, chill. I got to pull my hand back and shit. These are the same women that will ask this type of question, but then be all over you and stuff. And at the end of the day, man, don't let any of this discourage you from leveling up your looks, becoming the most handsome and attractive version of you. Just because some people are going to have negative assumptions about you before they even get the chance to know you doesn't mean that you shouldn't still self-improve, that you shouldn't become the most handsome and attractive version of yourself on the inside and the outside, right? Because like I said at the beginning of this video, you're still going to experience a lot more benefits in life overall versus not leveling yourself up and maximizing your looks and your genetics to the best of your ability. Which again, if you do want to become the most handsome, attractive version of yourself, if you do want to maximize your looks to the best of your ability with the genetics that you have without having to have male model looks or 1% superior genetics, and you want to actually start attracting beautiful women to you that are highly into you, that want to see you, that want to go on dates with you, that want to be with you consistently, predictably, reliably every single day, just like how other men have been able to achieve this using IAB, then I would highly suggest that you check out my free IAB training. Again, I'll have it linked down below in the description and the pinned comment. I promise you it's going to be very worth it for you to check out that free training because it's going to change your life for the better. I promise you. So with that being said, if you got a lot of value from this video, please give it a like, subscribe for more videos like this. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Take it easy, bro.